Okay, so everybody, again, welcome to Manifesting 101. This is a complete deep dive. Wow, I can't talk. Into how to make your manifestation practices even more powerful. So, like I've said, in all of the content that has led you to be here, I'm a very practical person. I like to have the facts. I like to have the science, the knowledge to know that what I'm doing is working, to know why I'm doing what I'm doing, and to help me cultivate a belief in all of this manifestation stuff. I was going to say something else, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So, welcome. Let's get started. Okay. What we're going to cover is the science of manifestation. It's the 101, all of the practical things that you need to know to understand how the process of manifestation works. Of course, with manifestation, you need to know how the energy of manifestation works. It's all about energy. It's all about aligning up with the right energy and just creating the future that you want while lining up with the energy that you desire. How our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are shaping our reality. So, as we'll get into it here, basically everything is energy. And that means that we are energy, our thoughts are energy, our emotions are energy, our beliefs are energy. And every single thing that we give into, that we cultivate as a belief for us, that we manifest into a feeling and emotion, it is all energy and it is all creating our reality. So let's get into how that is happening. A little background on who I am. So again, my name is Nicole. If you know me, you are probably following my Instagram or my YouTube or my podcast. I go by Aligned Life by Nicole. And I have a lot of content about manifestation on there, about money mindset, and all of the above. I grew up in a religious home. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. Not exactly Salt Lake City, Utah, but you get the general idea of that. I live in Utah, and I did grow up in a very religious background. My family was never super religious, so we kind of weren't as, how do I say this, strict as other people were that are in our religion. I did grow up with like the basic principles of the religion, but I always kind of found myself confused, I guess you could say, because I remember growing up and I like looking at different churches and institutes and stuff. I was always confused because I was like, I feel like we're all talking about God. We're all talking about the source, creator, whatever it is, but we're all just kind of talking about it in a different form. Of course, some have more rules, some have less rules. We talk about it in different terms. We do different practices, but like ultimately, we all believe in a God. We all believe that he's the creator or whatever it is the creator, and that we are here to have a human experience. The details that go further than that, of course, are a lot deeper. But for me, I just like to believe that there's God, there's a source, there's a creator. I don't know what type, shape, form, energy it is, but I know that there is definitely something beyond ourselves that is helping us to co-create this life that we are living. Like I said in here, manifestation practice always felt a little weird or woo-woo and made me feel really uncomfortable. Of course, with growing up in a religious home, manifestation was not taught, was not really accepted. It was kind of frowned upon within my religion to look into different modalities. Of course, within every church, they want you to stay a member of their religion. So they're always going to push their beliefs in the way that they believe that you should be thinking about them. So manifestation was scary to me. I thought it was weird and just woo-woo, wacky. It made me really, really, really uncomfortable. But when I got into college, I grew up dancing and I went into college and I stopped dancing and I ended up having just a lot of issues with my stomach. So I was kind of looking into alternative ways to kind of heal whatever was happening with my stomach issues. I don't really love pharmaceuticals. I don't really love any kind of intense drug or anything. So I really wanted to do it like a very natural way, which is where I fell into the practice of meditation. And of course, it took me a very long time to get comfortable with meditation, to figure out what it was, how it worked, and how to make it work for me. Because I was just really uncomfortable with diving into a different modality because of the whole religion thing. So, like I said, I started going on the internet and looking for alternative ways to heal my stomach issues. And I ended up falling into the work with Dr. Joe Dispenza. If any of you know who he is a really big spiritual leader. He's very scientific based, which was why I loved his stuff, because it took the religion and all of the woo-woo weird stuff out of it. And it was just basic. This is science. This is how it's working in your body. This is energy. This is how you cultivate this certain type of energy to help you heal, to help you manifest, to help you do whatever it is that you desire. This is how you do it. So I loved his work. I dived into his meditations. I went to, I think I've been to 4 of his live one-on-one now. Live like in-person retreats that he has. Love his work. It was very transformational for me. And since then, I've just kind of been diving into a lot of different modalities. And it really helped me transition from my religion to, I would say, more of a spiritual background and being comfortable with these practices. Like I said, growing up in a religious home, I never felt really connected to that certain religion. So I do mainly just believe in spiritual practices in general. I am never one to push any type of belief onto anyone. So please come into this with your own background, your own beliefs. Everything is supported here. This is just going to be the science of it. We're not going to cover anything else that would make you uncomfortable. I want you to know that everything is accepted here. So with that, and diving into the meditation, personal development, Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, I just got really into personal development practices. So I've probably been investing in different people, courses, whatever you can name it, for the last 7 years. So I am very familiar with different practices and different people who practice different kinds of work. And yeah, let's move on and stop talking about myself. So, first question, what is manifestation? So manifestation, and of course, my definition, like I said, please take whatever you want to from this training, whatever sits with you and whatever you feel called to, please look into that. But whatever you don't, whatever's weird, whatever you're not comfortable with, just leave it. And, maybe down the line, you'll be able to understand a little bit more and kind of dive into it deeper. But this is just about you. This is about where you are and getting you comfortable with these practices. So again, my definition of manifestation is when thought, emotion, or belief is projected into your current reality. It's taking something that was only in your head and now being able to see it, feel it, or touch it in the physical plane. So what that means is, my example is me getting my dream car and manifesting a new relationship. So with both of these items, these were things that I previously did not have, and they were things that I desired. So of course, manifestation is the practice of bringing what you do not have in your life currently into your life. So first, how you do that is you think about it. You cultivate a belief around having it. You do the visualization practices. You do whatever you can to get yourself familiar with that desire, and then you practice bringing it into your life. So manifestation is just the act of those things that you desire showing up in your life. It's important to note that manifestation is something we are doing every single day. So intentional manifestation is what I prefer to call it. if you know what manifestation is and you know how it works, you know that we are already doing it every single day. You can never say that you're not bad at manifestation because you've been doing it your whole life. You just weren't aware of how it was being created. So, what that means is that if we are creating our lives every single day by the thoughts, emotions, feelings, and beliefs that we have cultivated, we're just living off of an autopilot of the life that we have already created. So most people don't understand that they have a power to kind of change the directory of their lives to a certain degree, of course. I believe we are co-creators of our life, of the universe, whatever you want to call it. And we do get a say in what we believe to be true for us. So, what that means, we get to adapt certain beliefs that serve us, and we get to let go of the ones that don't. This is intentional manifestation. This is when we get clear with ourselves on the thoughts we've been thinking, the feelings that we've been having, and the beliefs that we have picked up along our entire life. We analyze them and we realize what we want to keep and what we want to let go of. So, intentional manifestation is what that is. It's creating an intention for your life and focusing your energy to support those things that you desire. Manifestation is something that every single person is doing. It's just whether or not they know that they're doing it. It's the only thing that separates it. So the whole thing about manifestation being something that's new or like just came out or was just discovered or figured out is not necessarily true in my eyes because, again, we've always known about it. We just didn't have the awareness of it until now, until being here. So welcome. So what this course is mainly about is the science of manifestation. Why I focus on the science of manifestation, like I've said before, is because it takes the woo-woo, the scary, the weirdness out of it, and it just focuses on the practical, scientific knowledge that we have today that supports that manifestation is real. So we're not going to dive too deep into the science because I'm not that nerdy, but I do believe that having a basic level of how the universe works on a practical level, scientific level, is very important to be able to cultivate a deep belief in knowing that these practices will work for you. I know that I struggled with beliefs in all of this until I heard about the science, because the science is what really got me to understand exactly how all of this manifestation works. And again, I want you to go with your own belief of how the world works, but I do believe that everything is connected. I've always felt that everything was connected. So when I found the science of manifestation, it just confirmed to me that I knew all along that everything was connected. So take it if you want, leave it if you don't. But this is where quantum science and quantum physics comes into play. What the heck is that? Do you even care? I don't know, but a very non-intelligent, like dried down version of what quantum physics is the theoretical basis of modern physics that explains the nature and behavior of matter and energy on the atomic and subatomic level. The nature and behavior of matter and energy at that level is sometimes referred to as quantum physics and quantum mechanics. So what this means, it is just a study of like the teeniest of teeniest of teeniest of particles, which is the creator force of everything. So we are basically studying the really, really little world and figuring out how those little atoms are working together to form whatever this is that we call life. So, in short, in non-scientific explanation, everything is energy. Everything that we touch that is energy, everything that we are is energy. This vision board is energy, these pieces of paper is energy, this wall is energy. It is just all vibrating at a different frequency. So how we know that that is true? There is a couple different videos that I really like that have helped support these beliefs and just always make freaking sense in general. Um, I've listed below. So we're going to watch a couple of those to really help you out. And I'm going to stop talking and let the people that know how to do this a lot better than me take over. So the first one that I'm going to show you is a little bit of a lengthy video, but it is very well worth it. And all of my YouTube links are right here. Okay, so bear with me. This one's 5 minutes, but I promise you, if you watch this video, it will make all of this energy and manifestation stuff make so much sense. So.
And here we are, the granddaddy of all quantum weirdness, the infamous double slit experiment. To understand this experiment, we first need to see how particles, or little balls of matter, act. If we randomly shoot a small object, say a marble, at the screen, we see a pattern on the back wall where they went through the slit and hit. Now, if we add a second slit, we would expect to see a second band duplicated to the right. Now, let's look at waves. The waves hit the slit and radiate out, striking the back wall with the most intensity directly in line with the slit. The line of brightness on the back screen shows that intensity. This is similar to the line the marbles make. But when we add the second slit, something different happens. If the top of one wave meets the bottom of another wave, they cancel each other out. So now there is an interference pattern on the back wall. Places where the two tops meet are the highest intensity, the bright lines, and where they cancel, there is nothing. So when we throw things, that is matter, through two slits, we get this, two bands of hits. And with waves, we get an interference pattern of many bands. Good so far. Now, let's go quantum. An electron is a tiny, tiny bit of matter, like a tiny marble. Let's fire a stream through one slit. It behaves just like the marble, a single band. So, if we shoot these tiny bits through two slits, we should get, like the marbles, two bands. What? An interference pattern. We fired electrons, tiny bits of matter through. We get a pattern like waves, not like little marbles. How? How could pieces of matter create an interference pattern like a wave? It doesn't make sense. But physicists are clever. They thought maybe those little balls are bouncing off each other and creating that pattern. So they decide to shoot electrons through one at a time. There is no way they could interfere with each other. But after an hour of this, the same interference pattern is seen to emerge. The conclusion is inescapable. The single electron leaves as a particle, becomes a wave of potentials, goes through both slits, and interferes with itself to hit the wall like a particle. But mathematically, it's even stranger. It goes through both slits and it goes through neither. And it goes through just one and it goes through just the other. All of these possibilities are in superposition with each other. But physicists were completely baffled by this. So they decided to peek and see which slit it actually goes through. They put a measuring device by one slit to see which one it went through and let it fly. But the quantum world is far more mysterious than they could have imagined. When they observed, the electron went back to behaving like a little marble. It produced a pattern of two bands, not an interference pattern of many. The very act of measuring or observing which slit it went through meant it only went through one, not both. The electron decided to act differently, as though it was aware it was being watched. And it was here that physicists stepped forever into the strange, never world of quantum events. What is matter? Marbles or waves? And waves of what? And what does an observer have to do with any of this? The observer collapsed the wave function simply by observing.
Okay, so what that means to me, I hope that made a little bit more sense to you on kind of how the science works of what they figured out with how the world works. When you look at the really, really tiny world and study how everything functions, it goes back to the fact that the observer is changing the energy of whatever is happening. So, what that means is that your energy is creating the life that you are seeing being reflected back to you. So, like energy is attracted to like energy. So, whatever you are giving off the most of is what will come back to you in your physical plane. So, this is why manifestation techniques are so powerful, because you are focusing your intent on the energy of that which you desire. So, you are literally creating a universal pull with that object, that item, that feeling, whatever it is that you're wanting to bring into your life, and you're cultivating it within your energetic state, in the here and in the now, which will eventually make it come into your reality, if that makes sense. I do have a couple of other videos we're going to dive into just to kind of give you a little bit more background on this. Let's do this one first.
The film you're about to see has no characters. If you spare a little of your imagination, it is a film to describe to you the effect of cymatic frequencies on matter.
So I'm going to jump in because this video is a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but you kind of get the gist of what's going on in this video. It is showing you how different particles using the substance of, I think it's salt, not salt, sand and water in this video is responding to different vibrations. So we all know what music is. We all know that music gives off a vibrational sound. And with that, there are certain patterns that go along with certain sounds. So what this means is that there are certain energy forms that take different patterns in order to create different things. So again, if you've ever heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, he goes deep into the science of this, and he will literally show you how every single vibration has a different pattern. So when this comes to manifestation, it basically means that whatever you are trying to tune into in your life, you're literally trying to tune into it. You want to think of it as like a radio dial, that you are literally turning that radio dial to line up with whatever frequency it is that you're wanting. So think of it as like there's a radio station for love. You want to tune into that frequency, aka that pattern, aka that energy, and give off a certain kind of energy that reflects whatever it is you are wanting to bring into your life. So you're literally tuning into different radio stations all day long and bringing in to your life the things that you want to feel, that you want to have, and that you want to manifest. A lot of the time, certain manifestation practices can seem like they're not happening because we've only just started learning about them, and we've only just started practicing cultivating those feelings and aligning with them, because we've had such a long period of living our life not knowing what we were really doing. Our energy was just really mismatched. And I know when I started the manifestation practice and learning about all of these things, and like my thoughts and my feelings were like cultivating my reality, I started freaking out because I was like, crap, like I'm in fear a lot, I'm in doubt a lot, I'm in like insecurity a lot, like all of these things like are just a habit of how I have cultivated myself to feel over these years. And I was like, crap, if I have a bad thought, like, does that mean that that bad thing is going to instantly manifest into my life? And I don't want you to think that that's true, because it is manifesting into your life, but it's not going to be instant. It is going to be a slow change and a slow transformation. There are things called quantum leaps that you can jump into to create a big change right away. But most of the time, when you start to cultivate manifestation practices, it's going to take a minute just for your set energy and for the patterns that you've already placed in your life to shift and change into where you are wanting to go now. So don't worry about thoughts coming up and them manifesting instantly. That's not how it works. You have a vibrational set point that you've given off so far, this far in your life. So that's not going to change overnight. So all of this is going to take time, but please do be conscious of the way you're thinking and feeling, because you are creating a bigger pattern and a bigger wave to create that in the future. So with that, this video, I hope it just helped you realize how susceptible material things are to this energetic world. And with that, I have one more video, if I can get this to go away. Okay. The last video that I want to show you is this one. So this is a clip of The Water Crystals by Matsumoto. I think that's how you say it. This is a clip from the movie What Belief Do We Know? And also Dr. Joe Dispenza was a producer in this one, so it is very closely tied to his work.
The exhibit comes to us from Japan, and Mr. Of the four elements. Mr. Emoto thought perhaps it would respond to non-physical events. So he set up a series of studies applied mental stimuli, and photographed it with a dark field microscope. This first picture is a picture of water from the Fujiwara Dam. And this picture is the same water after receiving a blessing from a Zen Buddhist monk. Now, in this next series of pictures, Mr. Emoto printed out words, taped them to bottles of distilled water, and let them out overnight. This first photograph is a picture of the pure distilled water, just the essence of itself. These subsequent photographs, as you can see, are each different. This is the chi of love. And we move along here to thank you. And you can see where he taped that to this bottle here. But if you read Japanese, you already knew that. Now, Mr. Emoto speaks of the thought or intent being the driving force in all of this. The science of how that actually affects the molecules is unknown, except to the water molecules, of course. And it's really fascinating when you keep in mind that 90% of our bodies are water.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? If thoughts can do that to water, imagine what our thoughts can do to us.
So with that one, the big thing is, of course, you're saying that your thoughts are creating your reality. Again, let me get you back here. With everything that I teach heavily on the fact that your thoughts are creating your emotions, and your emotions are creating your state of being. Your state of being. Okay. So what that means is that everything's connected, and all of it is working together to co-create the life that you're living right now. So with that, I just wanted to give you a little bit of practical knowledge around manifestation, around energy, around the universe, and how everything works, or how everything works right now. You know, of course, with science, we're always figuring out new things. So, sorry, that's my boyfriend. Okay, we're not going to talk to you right now. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of knowledge so that you can have a stronger belief in how all of these manifestation practices can work for you. I know that they helped me out a ton in order to just believe that this is how my life worked, that this is what, that these manifestation practices were what helped me to shift and change my life, to get all of my things off of my vision board and into my real life. This is obviously my newer vision board, but I do have one that I had up last year, and literally everything that was on it, I was able to take down, which was insane. Like, looking back at that vision board, I didn't realize that all of those things manifested into my life because I was so busy living my life. But that's the thing about manifestation, is that you want it to become your norm. And when it becomes your norm, like, you're almost not going to notice that you've created this different life, and you're not going to realize how different it was than the one that you had before until you start to pay attention and look back at how many things have changed. Like I said, my last vision board, I didn't have a relationship. Obviously, my boyfriend just texted me, so I do have a relationship now. I was able to get my these Invisaligns, man, killing me. I was able to get my dream Jeep, which was my dream car that I've always wanted. My podcast, I've started my podcast, my business. These are for my business. I started this business, of course, that's why you're seeing me right now. Even this one was crypto investment. I wanted to invest more in crypto. I did that. I had an opportunity even come to me through my boyfriend for a new crypto that supposedly is supposed to be amazing, but whatever, that's in the future. But like, all of these different things have manifested in ways that I never thought were possible. So I would just encourage you to help do whatever it is that you can to help you deepen your belief in these practices, around knowing that these practices are helping you, that they're serving you, and that they are going to nurture you in your life. So with that, I'm going to keep this short because I've been on here for too long, but I am grateful for you being here. And if you need any more free content from me, you can always check out my YouTube channel and my podcast. Of course, I will share information on my Instagram, but I also have a couple of courses that are coming up, and I am launching my signature course Up Level this Sunday. This is round 2. So we're just going to dive into everything that we've talked about and how to step into this vision board and make it your reality. It's about up-leveling your life and just tuning into that higher frequency. It's not even necessarily a higher frequency because there's not a low and a high, but tuning into the frequency that you are desiring is what we're going to do. So if you want to join that, I hope to see you there. And with that, I'm going to end this so that you can have a good night or morning or day, wherever you are. So thank you. And I'll see you next time.